Good to be with everybody. Really good final scrimmage of fall camp. We've had about 18 days of practices and walkthroughs and meetings. And really the challenge to the guys today was to put all of that together. And I felt overall it was the best scrimmage that we've had. I think offense got off to a really good start early, had some really big plays and a couple one-play touchdowns. Cade Fortin had a really good day with some of the receivers. Overall, early on, I think the offense got after the defense pretty good. And then the defense did a better job in the second half. And I think the defense had 4 red zone stops on some nice plays. And so there was some good lessons there. There were still 3 penalties, which is 3 too many. And 2 of them really cost the team. One cost the offense points, one cost the defense points. So there's still a lot of lessons there. The final 30 minutes of the scrimmage was all situational work. So we put the ball down on the -1 and trying to get a first down off the goal line and do a tight punt situation if you get backed up. And then we also did some situations, maybe into the game situations where you have Hail Mary offense, Hail Mary defense, situations where you have 10 seconds left, 1 timeout, field goal to win. So we did probably 8 or 10 different scenarios at the end, just trying to cover those to kind of finish up fall camp. But we're able to come through the scrimmage, I think, pretty close to 100% healthy free. And that's always a concern in your last scrimmage, being inside of 2 weeks. But, still got a lot of work to do. I'm glad we don't play this Thursday. We still got some things to get cleaned up. But overall, I definitely have seen progress from our team during fall camp. And I feel like we're definitely a lot further ahead than where we were for sure a year ago at this point. And now as we turn the page, we'll meet on Sunday for 2 hours and put this scrimmage to bed. And then we come back in here Monday morning, then it'll be full speed on NC State prep for the next week and a half. So overall, proud of the guys for fall camp, the energy and attitude, work ethic, and consistency overall. But now, we got to kind of refine a few things to get ready here this last 10, 11 days. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Leroy Haggerty, start us off today.
Thank you, Brian. Coach, you met with alumni today that you may have not even met with all of last year. How nice was it to see a broad contingent of former Bulls there today?
No, it's great. That's something that has been really important to me whenever I got here. Obviously, COVID kind of stopped a few of our plans last year. But really, we had a really nice event the day before the spring game this past spring and had, close to 75 former players. I think today we had close to 75 former players here. And, just to see them interact with our players as our players left the field today, I think was awesome. And, I've really felt the support. My message to all of our former alumni, football player alumni is, hey, this is your program. All right. I may be the head coach and the leader at this point in our journey, but this is your program. You guys have sweat and bled and put everything on the line and kind of built a foundation. And it's really our responsibility and our opportunity to really try to build on that and improve our program. And I feel a good bit of support and just kind of synergy overall from our football alumni. As soon as I get done here, we're going to have, all the coaches are going to have a nice lunch with all those alumni off campus. So looking forward to that.
Joey Johnston.
Coach, is there somebody or somebodies that help themselves the most during fall camp and scrimmages, somebody that really upped their status in your eyes?
Yeah, there's probably several guys in that situation. If I just was thinking a few, I would say Jaron Mangum, transfer running back from Colorado. He's really had a good fall camp. He was out of shape a little bit early on. And then he really has got himself in shape and done a really good job running the football as a physical runner, something that we were hoping to get out of him. Demarcus Gregory, a transfer receiver, has had an outstanding fall camp and done really well. Those are probably 2 of the guys offensively. Defensively, Christian Williams, I think has really improved from where he was in the spring. and been able to really make a lot of plays on our defense. Mac Harris is a guy, linebacker, young guy that I think has really made some progress. Tramel Logan, a defensive lineman, put on some weight, had a really good summer, been able to see some good things out of him. But, overall, I would just say from maybe where we were a year ago and how weird it was, it really, you're seeing a lot of improvement from everybody. So it's not like we kind of had everything set and there's just one or two guys popping up. It's really a consistency of our overall team getting better. And that's definitely what we need as a team for this year. And hopefully that'll continue.
And one more, if I could, I understand Clebra Selman spoke to the team a couple nights ago. What was your takeaways from hearing her speak, and what was kind of her message that she gave to the guys?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great great things, obviously about Leroy Selman since I've been here. Michael Kelly had the opportunity to work with him early in Michael Kelly's career here in South Florida, and really tried to, especially over this last year, do a lot of research and reading on our history of how the program got started. I've had lunch and played golf with Frank Morsani several times, and trying to learn a little bit about that. And but to have Miss Clebra come and one of her sons, Chris, came as well. Leroy Jr. was not able to come, but it was very evident that she still has a very strong passion for the student athletes here at USF. And she did an outstanding job, with me not really spending a lot of time with her. I told her we were going to come over, wanted to bring her over and recognize her. And if she had a few words, we'd love to have her share. And she did an awesome job. And the thing to me, listening to that, there was a lot of things that maybe I've been preaching a little bit to our guys over the last, year and a half since I've gotten here. And, hearing her talk about her husband and the things that were important to him, of, always doing your best and everything that you do, of being humble and not talking about yourself or bragging about yourself, and really looking to reach out and help people. Those are a lot of things that we've been talking about. And so my message to the team after she got done is, hey, listen, this is part of our DNA of our program. The people that founded it, are have a lot of these same core qualities, core pillars that we believe in. So I thought it was outstanding having her here. And it was very evident that she has a strong passion for all the student athletes here at USF.
Nathan Vaughn.
Coach, I'll start you with a soft one here. More pressure drawing up that final touchdown in the national championship game, or that PK yesterday?
Oh, I would say the PK yesterday. I'm fully supportive of soccer. I've just never played it growing up. Maybe I just wasn't very good at it. I played football and baseball, but I've kicked the soccer ball a couple of times. I've never ever done a PK kick like that, and so the pressure was on, and it was fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and Coach Denise and her team were awesome. Our players, had an awesome time. This guy like Steve Wall's been here for 25 years. And, he texted me and said, in his 25 years, that was the coolest thing that he's seen since he's been here. And just seeing, both teams kind of celebrating and having fun together. I thought that was a great way to kind of finish off fall camp and for all of us to send a message, that we're all part of Team USF and we're one team. And there's no one sport that's more important than other sports. Everybody has their role in moving the university forward and our brand forward. And it was a lot of fun, but I'm definitely not going to be going for a rematch. I'm going to take that one and count that one for sure.
Yeah, follow up, kind of changing gears here. We're 12 days away from September 2nd. You're prepping for NC State. Have you named a starting quarterback? Has that situation kind of filtered itself out?
Yeah, I have not named a quarterback to the team yet. That's something that we'll be talking about here over this weekend. Really, I wanted to kind of finalize fall camp, which tomorrow we will with our meetings and evaluations and all that. And then as we kind of turn the page to NC State on Monday, I'll visit with the coaches and decide, how we want to do that moving forward. But we're not going to be trying to trick anybody or create any suspense. We got a lot of other things to worry about, but as soon as we do name a starter, I'll be more than happy to do that publicly and move on. I don't think it's going to be a big deal or a big surprise.
Will Turner.
Coach, you mentioned before I think the first scrimmage that penalties were an issue. You mentioned you had 2 today that were really costly. That was an issue, not at times last season, but not terribly. How do you kind of see that? How do you get better in terms of not committing those penalties and your overall team discipline?
Yeah, well, number one, it starts off the field. Y'all have heard me say it. I believe how you do anything is how you do everything. So that's why we talk about discipline and accountability off the field. I've never been around a great player that was undisciplined off the field, was not accountable, not where he's supposed to be, not doing the right things. But then he gets out there on 4th down and he does everything right. You can't turn a switch. It's who you are. You're either disciplined or you're not. So I truly believe it starts off the field. And I definitely have seen improvement in that from our guys. We've done a good job there. I think the biggest thing is getting guys to understand the situations. The thing that disappointed me today is it was 4th and 5. The defense was holding the offense. It was 4th and 5, and the offense tried to draw the defense off sides, and a defensive end jumped on 4th and 5. And that's just poor awareness of the situation, understanding. And then later on, the defense had the offense 3rd and 11. And had a pass interference call. You don't want that anytime. Sometimes those are aggressive penalties, but you got to understand the situation. 3rd and 11, those are important. I have seen them decrease a little bit, through from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 3. But I think the way you correct it is to point it out, make a really big deal about it when it happens, make a big deal about it after practice, the discipline running after practice, and then film study whenever you come back in. And I think when you do that, these guys will respond, and it has trended to a better. But as a coach, you're never happy until you get to 0. But that's a big emphasis. We're looking to make a lot of progress this season, and we're looking for we need every edge that we can get, and penalties are something that you can control. Some of the other things that happen sometimes you may not be able to control, but we got to control the controllables, and so that's been a big message, and will continue to be as we get ready for the season.
And then just to follow up, that was another set of American Conference referees that you had at your scrimmage today?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Kelly Quinlan.
Hey, Jeff, I was just curious about the kicking game, kind of where you're at there, and then also with your return game, kind of who are some guys that we could see out there?
Yeah, and I should have said that earlier. We spent a lot of time on the kicking game today. We did really every phase, and kickoff return. We had a nice kickoff return for a touchdown today, so that was really good. I think on kickoff return, freshman Jimmy Horn has been a guy that's been back there, and he's got really good speed. He's been doing a good job. Also Brian Battie is a guy that's been there on that back end. He did a little bit of that last year. And then also Xavier Weaver. Punt return has been Bryce Miller, Xavier Weaver, and Jimmy Horn. And Bryce has probably been the most consistent so far. Weaver's missed a little bit of time. Jimmy's still learning there. Punting wise, I feel like both Kenny Scribner, has had a really good, fall camp. He hit some nice balls today. He's also very valuable because of his holding ability. And then Andrew Stokes has done a good job as well. So I think they're both getting comfortable and been getting a lot of live reps there. Jared Sackett's done a good job with field goals. And then, we've been have some other guys maybe that, we've held out a little bit with some sore legs and different things like that. But overall, I've been pleased with our kicking game. And the biggest thing is trying to figure out who those core guys are going to be on punt team and also on kickoff coverage.
Leo Haggerty.
Coach, let's go back to the PK challenge. You threw the gauntlet down to the girls and said, hey, you got to beat Florida or we don't get here. They're just short of 2,000 people showing up for that game. How huge was that to start off the athletic season with a big win over a name opponent? Just to have you guys see that.
Oh, it was awesome. And that it becomes contagious. I think our guys, the thing I'm really proud about is our players came up to me 2 days before and asked if we could move our meetings a little bit. We still got all the meeting time that we needed, but they wanted to move the meeting so they could go out and watch the first half. And so, sometimes as coaches, you kind of, you set it up where you make them go and all that. And for our guys to come to me and ask because they wanted to go and they wanted to support and be there, I think that's kind of one of those small examples of the progress that I've seen within the culture of our team and even within our athletic department. But yeah, there's no doubt that was inspiring watching them. I think it's the first time that our women's soccer team has beaten Florida during the regular season, maybe. And so that was awesome. And for us to come be there for the game and then really to come kind of congratulate them the next day. I know they'll be there at Ray J supporting us when we play Florida here in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Coach.
Kelly Quinlan.
I was curious about the offensive line, and that was probably the toughest position group last year with the COVID protocols and guys being in and out. Just kind of what have you seen there and the building chemistry, I guess, there as well?
Yeah, we've been number one. We've been consistent with the people that have been able to practice. I think that first group, first 7 guys, I don't think they, knock on wood, I don't think they've missed a practice all fall camp. So I think just the communication, consistency of the lineup is something just like you said last year. We're dealing with what we were dealing with COVID and no vaccine. It's one thing for a skill guy to miss 2 weeks and come back and try to run some routes. It's a whole nother thing for these big guys. And that's kind of what happened last year, and just kind of inconsistent overall with who was in the lineup and being able to stay in shape and those type of things. But overall, I've been really pleased with our offensive line. That group probably takes more pride in their practice and their habits and what they do maybe than any group on the team. Alan Mogridge does an outstanding job in his coaching and the way he gets those guys ready to play. So I feel really good about the progress that group's made here during fall camp.
Nathan Bond.
Coach, Ole Miss is at 100%. I think Alabama has just one player who hasn't gotten vaccinated. Where are you guys standing right now? 12 days before kickoff here.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same place as where we were during fall camp. We've got the majority. I think we're close to a little bit over 80% that have the vaccine, and then the other guys have been educated, and them and their parents have just chosen not to have it. And so once we've gotten to that point, we're just kind of moving forward. So that's where we are.
Okay, any other questions for Coach this morning? Nathan, one more from you. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Coach, defensive line was clearly an issue, getting pressure, creating havoc. How has the defense kind of stepped up, being a little bit more aggressive, or have you been able to, win off the ball with just, rushing 3-4 guys right now?
Yeah, well, I think it's probably similar to the question I had a minute ago with the offensive line. Consistency of that group. That we've got probably 5 guys that have been around here for a while that have played a lot of ball, and those guys have been very consistent during fall camp as far as being able to be out there and getting better. And scrimmage ago they had several sacks and had a lot of pressure on the offense, and today the offense kind of changed up a couple things in their protections and different things and kind of got the best of the defense a little bit there. But overall I've seen some progress. Yates is a guy that had an outstanding summer and has really made some good progress during fall camp. I've mentioned Trammell Logan being a guy helping us with some pass rush there. And then you got Thad Mangum and, Blake Green. It's DG. I think overall that group definitely gotten better. I think for us, sometimes we're in a 3-down front. We got to count on, some of the backers and those guys getting some pressure as well. So, overall, I've seen progress, but just like every group, we still have a good bit of work to go.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We'll let you go.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Just sit back, keep your head in the middle of that.
All right. What's up, y'all?
It was good, Dwayne.
All
How
right.
you doing today?
Questions for Dwayne. Start with Leo Haggerty.
Dwayne, from your first day at USF to now, what's the biggest change that you've seen?
more accountability, more focus. A lot of guys growing up, understanding that this is a serious game and everybody's taking the game serious. Also, like our chemistry has gotten way much better. You'll see guys like just talking to anybody. Like you may see a linebacker talk to a specialist. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Thanks.
Nathan Vaughn.
Dwayne, creating pressure defensively was an issue last year. Coach mentioned that you guys have kind of stepped up and there's some new guys that can kind of help in that regard. What's the linebacker room like right now compared to what it was a year ago with pass rush moves and overall consistency in that area?
Well, I feel like with the linebackers we have improved a lot. You may catch us over the line when like special teams going on, get some pass rush moves. You also may see some safeties who also come off the edge too. And like every opportunity that we get to work on pass rush, we will work on it. Instead of just working inside the box, you know what I'm saying, scraping and patting hands over linemen. But I'll say we have improved with our pass rush.
Will Turner.
Dwayne, coach said that you guys, had some key penalties that let some points in or whatnot. That 4th and 5 with the offside call, to 3rd and 11 with a PI. How do you guys fix those type of things to have that not equate to Thursday night at NC State?
Just having better discipline and understanding the situation in the game. Even though it's 3rd down, everybody on the field should be saying, watch the ball, watch the ball. Even 4th down, watch the ball, watch the ball. And like, we got to just grow up and like know the situation, understand that, hey, this is our chance to go off the field. Because if we like to get the 1st down, it's a higher chance of them scoring.
Kelly Quinlan.
Dwayne, how ready are you guys to let it rip and hit somebody other than a teammate and kind of flush last year too, just to get back on the field and have a game against someone else?
I'll say the whole team is ready. We're all ready to play somebody, but we're taking it day by day, getting better and better and worrying about ourselves. We're about to start watching NC State and getting on their scheme, but most importantly, we're going to worry about ourselves and getting ourselves better. And that's offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Joey Johnston.
Dwayne, Coach Spencer a few weeks ago was asked about how the team might create some more pressure on the quarterback. And he said, some of the answers may be in the linebacker room, bringing some linebackers. Is that a role that you think you could thrive in? Would you look forward to getting more opportunities at that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I feel like I had some chances to prove that last year, but, due to the COVID situation, some guys missed some games, so we didn't have as many opportunities that we should have had. But like I said, like about the last question, like linebackers have been working on our pass rush moves, also the safeties. And yeah, I feel like we're gonna bring that energy this year.
Okay, any other questions for Dwayne? Will Turner.
Dwayne, now that you've gone through the fall camp, how much more, I guess, beneficial is it that you guys stayed internal with the linebacking coach decision of promoting Coach Sims? Did that make things a lot easier considering it was a guy you've been around as opposed to maybe somebody new?
I feel like, I'll say it got harder. Coach Sims is extremely hard on us. He always said the defense runs through us. He always hold us accountable if somebody mess up. It may not even be a linebacker, but he expects us to fix it because we're the generals on the field. And in Indy, there's no walking. You can't walk nowhere. You're always running. He gonna have you dead tired. He gonna put you in tough situations that should get you ready for these upcoming games this year. And I appreciate them promoting Coach Sims, though. I really do appreciate them. I feel like he's gotten the linebackers a lot better.
How would you rank this fall camp in terms of intensity and just kind of what you guys have done this
like 1 through 10,
or just against some of the other fall camps you've been a part of?
Well, I'd say it was a lot of intensity going on from the first practice to now. A whole lot of juice on the sideline. Offense got their cash on 3rd down. Defense got our money calls on 3rd down. and I be hearing both sides of the ball just yelling cash, cash, money, money. And I feel like those little things, it might not even seem so big, but those little things can help us win and can help us produce on the field.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate it.
Sure. All right, y'all have a good one.
40 minutes later.
Yes, sir.
Hitting that little square right there.
All right, for sure. I got a big head. What's up, everybody?
All right. Take questions, Brad Cecil, starting with Leo Haggerty.
Brad, if you go back to your first year at USF, which I think was 8 years ago, what's the biggest change from that first year to now?
Biggest change from my first year to now is definitely how bought in and how family oriented it is. I've talked about it a lot and just how much the culture has changed, and I think that's been the biggest thing that's changed. Really is how much love we have for each other, how much love the coaches have for us, and vice versa. And so I think that's been the biggest change, and I think it's had the biggest impact on us, especially this year throughout fall camp, just building that family atmosphere and building that brotherhood that's so important for football.
Thanks, Brad.
Kelly Quinlan.
Brad, obviously last year was sort of a nightmare, especially for linemen. We talked to Coach Scott about just mixing and matching every game. How's it feel now to have some chemistry with the guys on either side of you, and then also the communication piece on the line?
It's really nice. It's exciting. One of the most important things for a really good O-line play is a lot of communication and being comfortable with the guy next to you. And you can't get comfortable with the guy next to you if they're out for 2 weeks with COVID or if they're injured or something like that. And so we've been blessed to not deal with those things throughout camp. And so it's really allowed us to fine tune the little details and pick up things that we weren't even close to touching last fall camp. I mean, we talk about it with Coach Mo all the time. We're sitting in the meeting room and we're upset because we messed up. We didn't flip the protection to a certain pressure. And he reminds us, he's like, guys, last year at this time, we were trying to get 5 guys on 5 guys. And now this year we're talking about, flipping protections and passing off twists. And, we're just really trying to tune in on like I said, like the little things, the details. And it's been really good for us to, gel as a unit. And so this fall camp's been really good for us.
Nathan Vaughn.
Right. In 2019, there was a lot of talk about the culture being different. And then the Wisconsin game happened and it kind of got hit in the mouth and it seemed like the culture wasn't actually changed. Is there a difference that from 19 to now that you can visibly tell when we get hit in the mouth, this isn't going to be the same team that rolls over?
Well, one thing this team has a lot of is heart and perseverance. When we get hit in the mouth, we're not going to back down. That's not going to be the end of us. So regardless of what happens throughout the season, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep coming out every single day, giving it our all. And that's one thing that 2019, I can't really say that we did a poor job of is, once we got hit in the mouth, we fell. So I think that this year, and it's been like that through camp. I mean, our first scrimmage, the defense whooped us on offense. And then that second scrimmage, we whooped them. So, I mean, it's just a matter of just bouncing back. And I think that's been a big part of our culture change is just being able to get back up when you're knocked down and just, never giving up, staying true to yourself and persevering through adversity.
Joey Johnston.
At your position on the offensive line, of course, we how big guys are. That's the first thing you notice. But you guys have added a lot of physicality and size at running back and at wide receiver at various positions. How much will that help the offense to be a little more physical and a little bigger?
But it's super exciting. We're deep at every single position. Like you said, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, just on the offensive side of the ball, obviously. But I mean, it's really good to see because when one guy gets gassed because we rip a 60-yard play, 60-yard run, And, the next running back that comes in runs it in for a touchdown. It's like every single guy on our roster can do that. And same thing with the receiver. If receiver catches a bomb, has to come out for a play, we're hitting another receiver on a slant in the end zone. And so, I mean, it's really cool to see that next man up kind of mindset is just like every single person on our roster, I have 100% confidence in, and I know that they can get the job done with whatever play is called. So I think that this camp, it's been really exciting to see, seeing all these position groups evolve and grow together, and really, just like I said earlier with the O-line, fine tune the little things.
And one more thing, you had a lot of alumni out there at the field today watching you, and maybe you had a chance to interact with them. What is it like to be around those guys? What is it like for them? What is it like for you guys to have them out there?
For me personally, it's really humbling. Sometimes we take for granted the opportunity we have here, being at a Division I school, playing some of the best teams in the country. And so seeing them out here and seeing the people who laid the blocks for us to be here, is really special for me. That's something that I really care about and I really appreciate, because those guys, some of the guys that were out there were here with the original team that didn't even play a game for the first year. Like I don't know what I'd do if I practiced for a year straight without a game. And so, seeing those guys out there and, seeing the guys that, like I said, laid the blocks for us to be successful and be in the position that we're in. It was really cool to see that. And, I'm glad that they see what we're building here and the culture that we have. And, they want to come out to our scrimmages. They want to come out to practices. They want to come to games. So I really appreciate them for that as well. And so, it's cool to see them bringing their families out here and wanting to stay involved with our program and us as players.
Will Turner?
I can't remember off the top of my head who said it, but a player, mentioned earlier this fall that last year it was tough because, you guys tough with COVID, not just because you guys were rotating in and out people, but because you guys couldn't even get to know each other outside of your position rooms. There were a lot of guys that just didn't know each other from, maybe the linebackers room to the D-line room. Can you kind of put into words, what that change has been in itself and just kind of how you may have experienced that last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge change. I know just, for example, like last year, I unfortunately caught COVID in the first, right before the first 2 games of the year. So, I'm out for 2 weeks. I come back and I see people I've never seen before. I'm like, I've never seen these people before. And I'm asking around. I'm like, who's number this? And I'm like, they're like, oh, he came last week. I'm like, I didn't even know. So when I go up and introduce myself, I'm like, welcome to the team, bro. Like, and so, that was really weird last year, not being able to, being away from my teammates and, not being able to hang out with new teammates. And so this year we've been, really blessed to not deal with that as much, like Coach Scott was saying, the majority of our team is vaccinated. And so that's really helped us, build that brotherhood that's so important to football. Like I was saying earlier, being able to, eat lunch as a team together, being able to meet in your position room next to the guy you're playing next to. I mean, last year we're sitting, 4 seats apart. And I mean, we're going like 6 rows back. I mean, you don't even know who's in the meeting room. It's, it was tough last year. So this year, like I said, just getting back into the groove of things and being able to meet as a team, eat as a team, do team events, all that is, extremely important to a football team, and being able to get back into that routine has been really fun.
Any other questions for Brad this morning? All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Brad.